What's up, y'all? Gonna be covering Probopass, pretty infamously shit Pokemon. Really underrated in my opinion. A lot of people give it a lot of shit for being a stupid design. He personally, the line, both of them hit the balance of goofy to cool and unique, like in a very good way, in my opinion. That's just my personal opinion, though. I totally get it if you think it's stupid, but I don't know. I think the design origin is pretty clever, and I like weird fuckers in Pokemon. Like I like the weird one-off motherfuckers a lot of the time. Not that these guys are one-offs, although he was for one generation. So awesome buffs here. So a lot of people, say Probopass is bad, Bastion is bad because of their typing. People sometimes assume that having 4 times weaknesses makes a Pokemon bad. I will say 2 4 times weaknesses to a very common type is pretty rough, but he only has 2 weaknesses overall. Not to mention he has an immunity to poison, naturally, and then he has tons of resistances from that steel typing, and then actually a couple of 4 times resistances from that rock typing, and he's not even weak to fire, so a steel type is not weak to fire. It's pretty unique. It's a good mon overall, the typing-wise. The reason Probopass sucks is because he has shitty HP and can't really do shit, isn't have any way to heal himself and whatever. If he had like a healing move, he'd probably be like pretty solid. I mean, in real games. However, I gave him some, obviously, incredible buffs, as always. First things first, what I'll say before I get into Probopass is that Nosepass is very viable. Although you're giving up on a lot. First of all, Pure Rock is not the best defensive typing, but for some situations you might want that Pure Rock typing over that Rock Steel typing. For example, versus fighting moves, for example, Nosepass takes those much better than Probopass does. It's also slightly tankier overall with the Violite. However, that does take up your item slot, and item slots are very important in a ROM hack like this. A lot of the time you're going to be running different items on your Probopass, all kinds of different things, eject button for support, assault vest with an offensive set, just a plain old citrus berry for healing, or wiki berry, all kinds of amazing stuff that you should be running and switching between. Choice specs for some fights, whatever it may be, Z move, etc. You're really going to be alternating between your items. But that doesn't change the fact that Nosepass is pretty viable. However, Probopass, so I'll cover their abilities in a second, but I'm going to start with Probopass first because that is the more obvious Pokemon here. So Probopass has incredible buffs all around. Levitate and Lightning Rod for abilities, okay? And in this hack, you do have access to infinite use ability capsules. So something that's really cool to note is that Steel Rock with Levitate is actually like almost Heatran. Like in terms, not in terms of weaknesses, but like, for example, Heatran, obviously he has a lot more 4 times resists, but like it's comparable in the sense that it's like, or like Ferrothorn maybe is a better comparison. Ferrothorn's a better comparison, yeah. So Ferrothorn, it's Heatran and Ferrothorn in the sense that, with Levitate of course, in the sense that it has 1 4 times weakness and 1 2 times weakness, and that's it. And then it has, in this case, it would actually have 2 immunities. So no matter what ability you have, Probopass has 2 immunities. It either has immunity to ground and did I say have? No matter what ability you're using, because in this hack, again, you have infinite ability capsules, so you should be switching between your abilities, because not every fight is going to have a ground-type Pokemon. Not every fight is going to have a ground-type Pokemon or ground-type move that you need to switch in on. Maybe your other Pokemon take care of that. Okay, then maybe Lightning Rod is more useful. Not to mention, Lightning Rod actually gives you a boost, so Lightning Rod is very, very good as well. Don't sleep on it. It's a great ability as well. People might just assume, oh, Levitate's great, but Lightning Rod's also great. So, it's a ROM hack where you can prepare for stuff beforehand. So, if you know what you're going to be coming up against, you can choose the optimal ability for that situation. Probopass has incredible bulk, and it has access to reliable recovery now in the form of Set Amend and Fortify, and Recharge. So Recharge heals it by 1/3 and doubles the power of its next Electric-type move, like Charge does. That's great. Set Amend is Rock-type recover, and it heals 2/3 in the sand, which is obviously incredible. I mean, that's insane. In the sand or without it. Without the sand, it's just plain old recover. And then outside, in the sand, it's great, all right? It's an incredible healing move. And then Fortify is actually worse than Sediment. However, it is learned again. So in this hack, there is no move learner until the late game. So a lot of your rest moves or reteachable moves are via TM and Tutor. However, having access to Sediment and then Fortify about 13 levels later? Yeah, 13 levels later is nice because maybe you need to ditch Sediment for one fight. You can always rely on the fact that you'll be getting Fortify later at the worst case, or when you evolve, for example. So you can always count on that. Actually, is whenever any level you'll get Fortify. For example, if you're using a Violet Nosepass past level 35, which is definitely something you could consider doing. Then and then when you finally evolve it, if you ever evolve it, now you've got that Fortify. So that's great for healing. Okay, 3 great reliable healing moves, all with their own different little thing that makes them good. Of course, you also have like Restless Talk and stuff, and also you have access to Parabolic Charge. While that is not stab, it is, you know, a 70 base power move that heals you by 50%, so it's pretty decent. But yeah, more important, let me get back on the topic of Levitated and Lightning Rod. So, I mean, 85 HP and 150 on both your defenses. So this mon is extremely tanky, and it's needed because of the power levels in this hack. They're pretty absurd. So having tanky-ass mons like this is always going to be nice. It's always nice. It's really, really useful, and you should definitely consider it. You know, again, this hack is balanced for hardcore Nuzlocke or just for using whatever the hell you find. So, you know, say you get it on a route. You know, there's like 20 billion mons you can get on each route. So, you know, you get like a 1 in whatever chance. Oh shit, you end up with Nosepass. You know, Nosepass is a mon that people don't really fucking care about, but now you can actually use it, and it's cool. It's a cool mon. I mean, they're pretty underrated in my opinion, especially Nosepass. I like Probopass. The only thing I don't like about Probopass is the eyes. That's my only complaint. And the hat is kind of goofy, but I like the nose, and I love the metal fillings. It's like really clever because of magnetic shit or whatever. And then his whatever those are called, the little beak things around him, like that float around, are super sick. I don't know, I like Probopass. I also love his cry. His cry is super cool. But yeah, also another important thing is that they have incredible coverage. So they are special attackers. They already slightly were special attackers before, so I just, you know, they're magnetic Pokemon. They're based on not Stonehenge. What is it called? The Easter Island Moi statues. Please, somebody who is more historically literate can educate me on that. But yeah, that's why they have a pretty good special attack stat of 100 because of their dex entries and stuff. And Nosepass has a pretty good special attack stat of 70, which is pretty solid. So that's cool. Nosepass has, instead of having Lightning Rod, it has Volt Absorb, which is better for Nosepass because it still has a good special attack stat, and 70 is pretty solid, but it's overall much more defensive. While Probopass can be defensive and offensive. So, you know, Volt Absorb is better on Nosepass because you get that HP. Probopass gets that special attack boost, so that's pretty cool. You know, it's also makes them different from one another. If I wanted to make them different Pokemon, really, just with the option to evolve. Again, that typing and that move pool and those stats make a pretty big difference, especially the typing. Nosepass also has Steel Worker, which gives it stab on steel despite not being a steel type, which is not insane or anything. It's just a cute little cool ability that you can switch between. You know, some fights you're going to need Volt Absorb, some fights Volt Absorb is useless, you don't need it at all. Then run Steel Worker, you get stab on Magnetic Burst and Mirror Shot and Flash Cannon. Flash Cannon is 110 base power, 90% accurate, and has a 50% chance to dub Spadef. Mirror Shot has the same thing, but it's weaker, 80 base power, but it's 100% accurate. And it's I think it's like a 30% chance to drop or whatever. Actually, no, sorry, I buffed it, never mind. I remember now. Mirror Shot actually has the same effect as Dazzling Gleam and Signal Beam. Mirror Shot has a 25% chance to boost your special attack. So, you know, you trade 30 base power for 10% accuracy and a different additional effect. You know, dropping Spadef half the time versus boosting your special attack 1/4 of the time. It's a pretty cool dichotomy there. Magnetic Burst is great. That is a 55 base power plus 2 priority special steel type move, which a good amount of special steel types get. Pretty much all the special steel types, and then also a couple other random mons like a Alolan Golem and other magnetic type mons will get that. So that's great. It's cool shit, man. I really like it. And that's great. It also gets Shockwave via Tutor, which is also priority. However, that's not stab. I did consider giving them Electric Surge. I actually had that on them at one point, but I figured it's a little bit not repetitive, but I don't know. It's just kind of lame. It's a good ability and it's really cool, but I don't know. I like being immune to electric more than I like it being electric boosted personally. I like him like absorbing that electric. Also, it helps him with the defensive role, you know. So I opted for that. Although electric Surge would have been pretty great too. You also have other great utilities, so you have stuff like Strange Impulse, which drops special attack by 2. Metal Sound drops the death by 2. All those are 100% accurate. Again, I haven't mentioned this yet in this video, but check out the description down below. There's a link to the Google Sheets in the description. You can see all of these Pokemon buffs and changes for yourself, and most importantly, you can check out the move sheet and the move guide yourself, which is really important because there is literally every move in the hack is changed or buffed or different in some regard, and I would definitely just assume that any move that you get is going to be different from what it used to be, because there's like 5 moves that are unchanged. It's overall most moves are changed or buffed, or nerfed in a couple of unique cases. And there's also 130 plus custom new moves, as you can see here. There's a couple of new ones like Recharge. I mean, this one's not too many. Speaking of new moves, though, I will talk about them. There's a bunch here at the bottom, but I'm sure hopefully you guys know what they do. Yeah, great offensive coverage. Again, he is this weird magnetic ancient Easter Island head, so I think giving him really cool moves is pretty cool. He already got like telekinesis and shit, so why not? And he already got like Earth Power and other good coverage, so why not just go full send on that and give him Psychic and Aura Sphere and Energy Ball. So yeah, Signal Beam, Psychic, Energy Ball, Aura Sphere, Shadow Ball, Scorching Sands, Earth Power, and Focus Blast and Dazzling Gleam. And that's on both of them. And then you get dual screens, and you get Volt Switch, and you actually get Parting Shot. That was one that I was on the fence about, because I give Parting Shot to a lot of stuff, because it's just a really fucking fun and cool utility move, and it's kind of necessary, given the high power levels in this hack. You know, getting that Parting Shot on like half the fucking 80% of Pokemon get Parting Shot, maybe even 90% of Pokemon get Parting Shot now, as a reteachable TM, which is just a good way to deal with all of the offensive bullshit that you're going to be going up against. So that's really nice to deal with that, make it a little bit more manageable. And it's great because Probopass is slow, so you get that slow Parting Shot. That's incredible for a defensive mon. Really, really awesome right there. Yeah, such a fun mon. This would be so fun to use, man. So tanky and it can be offensive too, because of Calm Mind. And I also give it Z-Lock on. Z-Lock on in this hack will give him a +3 special attack boost. So you can click Z-Lock on, then you can click Priority Magnetic Burst, or Shockwave, or Parabolic Charge to heal yourself, or just straight up, you know, Recharge or Sediment or whatever. And then you have tons of good coverage moves, of course, to hit things that resist your Magnetic Burst. It's really great. You also have Power Gem and Mineral Shower for special Rock-type moves. Ancient Power is outclassed by Power Gem in every regard for the most part, besides on like Serving Grace mons, I guess, or like Technician. But other than that, it's just for earlier in the game. You know, obviously you get stronger moves as you level up. But yeah, it's super cool because what you can do is, well, Power Gem has a 1 in 4 chance to boost your special attack stat, but Mineral Shower is a 150 base power move that always lowers your special attack stat by 2. It's essentially Rock-type Draco Meteor. Yeah, if Draco Meteor was 150 base power, not 100% accurate, which it is in this hack. Speaking of, there are dozens of new moves that do that same exact effect that I just listed. For example, Zap Cannon is the same thing, but electric type. And he learns that 5 levels earlier, you know, so you get that earlier on, and then you reteach would probably end up teaching Mineral Shower to stab later on. And then Z-Lock on is great. Plasma Shot is a 130 base power electric type move that is 70% accurate, which is actually pretty solid with Zoom Lens with a 30% boost. So that would make it, what, 70 times 1.3 is 91, which is pretty damn great. And that always burns, okay? That always burns the opponent. It's like Inferno. So that's incredible. And then at level 63, you get Ancient Force, which is really good with that Lock-On set or a Calm Mind set. And essentially Ancient Force is just a better Natural Gift, because Natural Gift is 110 base power and can become any type in the game depending on your berry, right? So that's great. Yeah, for example, Aqua Berry Natural Gift becomes 110 base power Fire type move in a special, and basically every fucking special attacker in that get that move. But a couple Pokemon get Ancient Force, which actually holds a plate, so it's the same base power, but it essentially becomes, let me actually do the math, 110 times 1.2 is 132, so it's actually stronger. By like 12 points. I might nerf it to 100 base power, which would be 120 base power with a plate, so I'll consider doing that. But for now, it's 110. If it's 100, it's still amazing, and that becomes any type in the game depending on the held plate, which can be used more than once. While Natural Gift, of course, is a one-time use, one and done. So that's just a strict upgrade, and it's a great option for coverage. You already have very good coverage anyway, so you don't need Ancient Force, but it's still a really good move to have nonetheless. Not to mention, you can also just use that for stab if you wanted to. You know, it's the same power as Flash Cannon, so it's not that great. But for like a rock move over Power Gem, because of course Mineral Shower is very powerful, but it does lower your special attack stat. But you know, you could use like Stone Plate, Ancient Force for some boss fights, and in other boss fights you can run on Flame Plate, Ancient Force, or any other plate plus Ancient, Icicle Blade, Ancient Force, whatever it is. It's really cool, and I've been giving that to Pokemon that are like kind of ancient or ruin-ish in their vibes, and only Pokemon that are ancient in the sense that like they've been there for a long time. I don't know how to explain it. Like okay, for example, fossils don't get it, and people might be like, why not? And I don't know. I just don't really see it. I guess I could give it to like Amistar and what's the only other special fossil in this deck? Aurorus. I could. Honestly, I even might, but for now it's just like ancient vibes. Pokemon like Unknown, Probopass, Claydol, Sigilif, that kind of mon would get Ancient Force. But I might throw it on Amistar and Aurorus just for the flavor. Why not? Honestly, who cares? Well, actually, it might be kind of busted on Amistar. Although you can't. Yeah, no, that's busted on Amistar because he has a Shell Smash and it's dirty. So definitely not Amistar, but maybe Aurorus. But then at that point, it's like, why doesn't Amistar get it? So I'm so off topic. I'm so sorry. Let me just shut up about that. Point is, though, Nosepass is great. Probopass is great. Both are very, very, very tanky and have with Levitate. Again, with Levitate, Rock Steel is incredible. And without Levitate, you're only not basically you're running levitate when there's a ground move that you need to switch on. Otherwise, you're running lightning rod. If there's neither, then it's just a a bulky mon. So with immunity to electric, you have immunity to electric and poison, and then tons of resistances, including 4 times to normal and flying and all this other stuff. Another really important thing about resisting flying in this hack is that there are tons of powerful ass tinted lens Pokemon in this hack that have flying stab, and so being able to switch into those is definitely a good trait. Same with normal type moves. 4 times just in general are valuable because of tinted lens, the prevalence of it. What else is there? Fighting ground, yeah. So basically, with levitate, it's only weak to water 2 times, and then fighting 4 times. So that's very good. I mean, dude, mons like Ferrothorn are not even as close to as tanky as Probopass is right now. And Heatran isn't even close to as tanky. Obviously, those are better offensive types, and they have leech seed and stuff. So I'm not trying to say like they're as good as those mons, but Probopass is still great nonetheless. Yeah, good utility, incredible utility. What am I saying? Good. It's incredible utility, and it's good offense. 100 base special attack or 70 base special attack with stuff like Calm Mind and Lock On, Z-Lock On, and good coverage and Charge Beam. You could even use. It's pretty great now. 100% chance to boost special attack. It's very consistent. All these moves are buffed or changed, so I would just check those out. But yeah, it's really cool shit. I love what I did with Probopass. It's really fucking fun. Super tanky, just a great reliable tank. Which is much needed in this hack. Trust me, you're going to want mons like this every once in a while. Or at the very least, running it will be rewarding because it's just a good mon to switch into shit. Yeah, not everything has to be hyper offense, and it's also strong anyways. So it's not like it's weak or anything. Yeah, that's really about it. Not so much else to talk about. I think the abilities fit very well. Again, Lightning Rod and Voltosword because of the magnetism stuff. Steelworker because, oh yeah, I didn't mention that. Nosepass is said to use metal. Like here, it literally says, it draws iron objects to its body to protect itself better. So there you go. That is literally a steel worker. He's literally working with the steel to fight, or I guess technically defend himself. So makes total sense. Obviously, that's why he evolved into the steel type. He loses steel worker. I did consider keeping steel worker for like that double, essentially like 50%. Basically, it would be like 2.25 times on your steel moves. I thought that'd be pretty sick. But I like Lightning Rod a little bit more. Steel worker would be pretty sick. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I think Lightning Rod's a little bit cooler. So I went with that instead. Not to mention, it's more defensive, so I prefer that over Probopass over an offensive ability, although he would be great with Steelworker. But to be fair, I did that before I changed Clink Clank. We'll get to that when we get to Unova, which I'm hyped for. I'm hyped for all these Pokemon. I'm hyped for so much. Literally every single Pokemon I'm hyped for. I say this in every video, but I'm just excited to get to them, man. But yeah, here's another one down. I love Probopass now. Super cool mon. I would love to use one of these guys. Nosepass and Probopass would be super fun. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed these changes. Thank you for listening. Link to the changes in the description down below. Check that out. Also, link to my Discord server is in the description down below. So check both of those out. Thank you and bye. Oh, also, leave a like, please, if you listen this far. Also, if you're not subscribed and you listen this far, you should definitely be subscribed. Go check out my other videos if you like this one. There's tons more where this came from. So yeah, thank you so much. Bye.